Hello friends, neighbors, John, your neighbor here. Welcome to the Nook. It's Sunday, so we're actually going to look at samples. I know the last couple of Sundays I've been doing bottles that have been shared with me from James are fantastic, but these are actual samples, and some of them have been on the shelf for a while, like over a year. This one's from Andy, and it is a Dingle Single Malt. So that's an Irish Single Malt, entirely aged in port. And then this Scapegrace is a New Zealand Single Malt, aged in new French oak. So I'm expecting some pretty different single malts here. If you've got any Irish single malt, or you got something from New Zealand, when you pour that, come on back and we'll just see where these samples take us. 3, 4. Well, let's dig in. As I said in the opener, I've got this one from Annie. Thank you, gentlemen, for sharing with me. And it is the Dingle Single Malt. This is batch 6. It's 46.5%, and it's aged entirely in Tawny Port Casks. It's natural, it's non-chill filtered, just the way we want whiskey to be. I don't know if there was an age stamp on this. I'm going to say it's an AS, but I don't know. I couldn't really find that easily. Let's see what the nose says on this Dingle Single Malt. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's rich, it's dark, it's chocolatey. Oh, it's very chocolatey. Sometimes port throws that for me. Like the Tomatin 14, I love that one. Okay. The nose is lovely. Muted sugars, but there's some malt sugar in there, but really right away I'm getting some light roast, some nice chocolate, dark but muted fruit. Not like banging off bright jelly or bright raspberry. Right now it's just a bit dark. Let's see where this goes on the palate. Hope you got something nice. Sláinte. First thoughts, that is a treat. I'm actually reminded a lot. I looked up here because this is sitting around. It's one of my favorite bottles, this Tomatin 14. I know it's really gone up in price lately, but I really like that Tomatin 14. This is reminding me of that a lot. In fact, I should have shot it maybe against it just to see if my memory is the same, but it is beautiful. It's really nice in the palate. It's gentle. I don't overemphasize it, but for my palate, it's chocolatey, darker oak, and again, darker cooked fruits. Not punchy, not bright, not winey. This is, stewed fruit, cooked down jellies, and then all the dark spices that go with that. A little bit of nutmeg is usually my go-to in that kind of spice profile. Maybe allspice, but anyways, not peppery though. It's not peppery at all. It's very relaxed. Now, it's been in the sample bottle for a little while, but I have to say it's drinking really, really nice. Very tasty dram. Well, that was a great start. Now let's talk about this single malt from New Zealand. Scapegrace Chorus II. 46%. This came to me from Cam from PWS Imports. Thank you so much, Cam. And I did whatever searching I could. It doesn't look like you can still get Scapegrace Chorus II. You can get Scapegrace. That's their distillery. They have lots of releases, but it looks like maybe they're batching, and with that, they're naming them different. As far as I can tell, I'm going to say NAS because I couldn't for sure get the age, but lots of websites were saying that this is actually a 3-year-old single malt, which would make it young, and I'm sure younger than this Dingle. It is new oak. That's another interesting thing. It's nothing but virgin French oak, whereas this is ex-Tawny Port. They're actually incredibly similar in color, which is interesting because this is a new oak. And this had port, so you're going to get color from that fortified wine. Anyways, Scapegrace Chorus II on the nose. Oh, it is immediately different. I should have noticed it maybe before, not to get such a reaction, but this is young whiskey. This is exactly what young single malt noses for me. It is it gives a sense of being grainy. It's single malt, so it's not grain, but it like husky, grainy impression. Yeah, it's not bad. But it just absolutely for my nose is very young single malt. Let's give it a try on the palate. Sláinte. Okay, so up front, I was sticking with that. I was gonna go, you know, really bright oak, really almost oaky taste, a little bit alcoholic, a little bit. I'm gonna be negative here with this. I'm gonna end better, but up front it gets a little bit paint thinner, a little bit of that kind of lacquer, a little bit of that, but then it's settled into something completely different. I better have another sip. Cheers. And there it is again. At first, again, very young single malt, but it went near, like now it's got a very complex early finish, or just the back of the palate, very complex. A huge variety of spices. I had graham cracker, I had cinnamon, I had orange, I had even a little bit of that barbecue clove. I had it just ran the palette of spices, and it did it again. Now, the long finish, it's going back into that lacquer, shellac. It's not like, I just think, boy, if they could capture, and I will say, in a different way, this is soft milk chocolates, because I'm going to mention, this has a little bit of unsweetened cocoa kicking around in there. It does. It has a bit of chocolate in there, and some nut, some walnut, because it's a little bit bitter, definitely in there as well. This has significantly more variety in that end of the palate early finish than this Dingle over here. It's like, if they could get rid of the lacquer, shellac, really young single malt that's still kicking around in here, that backsplash, that is just really delightful. So very interesting. Probably third, fourth sip in the night, I'm not going to get any of that lacquer, and I'm going to really enjoy that spice palette. And so this is still going to be a good single malt. Right now, for my palate, this Dingle Batch 6 is just delightful. Start to finish, easy to enjoy, and rich in flavor. Dark fruit and some of that nice casking. These are a treat. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Cam. Thank you for joining me here. Have you had this Dingle Batch 6 export, and have you had anything else from Scapegoat, this particular Chorus II, or anything else? Why don't you share your thoughts below? Thanks for joining me here. Hope your week coming up is a good one.